Hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Ali, the Cockney Crafter, and I'm here today to share with you my latest junk journal that I have made. So, she's got a 1.5 inch spine and she measures roughly 6 by 8.5 inches, and she's wrapped in this beautiful organza scarf secured with this rose brooch. So, let's open her up. She's got roughly 120 plus pages, and I've done her in this gorgeous blue, but I've distressed with inks over the cover to make it look aged. On the front you've got some muslin, some lace, some book page, some lace and ribbon trim. I've typed this and then coffee stained it, inked it, covered it in glossy accents. It says, "Belief is the key that unlocks your dreams," and I do believe that. And there's a lovely little key with a little heart and a pearl and metal decorative brad. And so that's her. Oh, the closure is these bulldog clips and this gorgeous chain with lots of little blue bits of like little beads, little bits of shells, little faux diamantes. They are absolutely lovely. So that's the closure. Right, let's get in. Okay, so first page, we've got this nice big deep pocket. I've included this bookmark in with the book because I thought the colours really lent themselves well to this book. It's a Monet, and yeah, I found it when I was going through old photographs that my mum let me have, and I thought it went really well, so that's in there. There's a little envelope I've made with a stamp and postage mark, and that's got a bit of paper for journaling in. It will also have a little note from me, the bookmaker, to the recipient of this book. And there's a little thing sewn onto coffee dyed paper from 1914, and it's the weather forecast for that day back in 1914. It's a replica newspaper. I haven't cut up like a really old piece of memoranda. It's a replica, but I've got lots of really good things out of it. So that's sewn onto coffee dyed paper, and all of the ephemera in here will be either sewn or stuck onto coffee dyed paper and all inked. So we've got the cover of a road map of Great Britain. We've got a really old looking letter and an advertisement here sewn on for making refreshing herb beer, and all it costs is sending 2 penny stamps to the maker, and they send you enough extract of herbs to make a gallon of refreshing beer. So I thought that was a cool little thing in this nice deep pocket. Here I've got a nice deep doily, and it's got an Edith Holden journaling card with a little bit of stamping on the bottom, and I made a mason jar with some little beads, and that's been inked and coffee dyed too. This page you've got some nice trim. I got this book from a charity shop just the other day. I think I'm going to do a haul video to show all the stuff I got because it was brilliant. But yeah, this is either Spanish or Portuguese, I think. I'm not sure, I don't speak either, but I liked it. It's a book of exploration it's about. I managed to work that out from the title, but yeah, I thought it was nice. So there's that, the little decorated paper clip. I've done some punching here, a little tiny bit of cardstock there, encyclopedia page. This is an idea from Wendy Connors Beckett over at Wendy's Journal Adventure. There's a little charm on the end that says believe, and it's a little notepad with a pocket, and I've got forget-me-nots there and another little advertisement for holidays for the summer of 1914. I'll try and link Wendy Connors Beckett doing this in the bottom, in the description, if I can work it out. I hope I can, because she could explain and do this a million times better than me. I love her. Right, so there's a little tab here, a page from the Adventurer's Handbook, all nice and old, Edith Holden. A nice paper bag pocket, it's really gentle. I've stuck this image on the top and cut a little bit, but yeah, it's a really delicate little pocket, so it wouldn't take nothing too heavy, I wouldn't have thought. So I've just got this little envelope out of a magazine. I've got a old magazine that had pictures of old letters, so I've cut them out, inked them and sewn them on to envelopes that I made to fit that each size, and it's just got some coffee dyed paper for journaling inside. Right, here it's not an altered playing card, it's an altered playing card box front. So it was just the front and it was all old, but I've decoupaged on it and done a bit of a collage with a raffle ticket, some cheesecloth, a little dove, some buttons, and I've got a couple of advertisements sewn on to coffee dyed paper from the old newspaper. Got some lovely old sheet music. It's really fine, really old, and the edges are coloured. It's just beautiful. Coffee dyed paper, another old book, some lovely trim on here, and I've got some really nice transfer from the coffee dye-in. Here I've got an envelope and it's just held shut by a little tiny heart that I've stuck on, and it's got an old, it looks like an old ledger from, oh, I can't see the date, I can't remember, it's really old. Anyway, some more lovely transfer. You can see where I was coffee dyeing a doily on top of this paper. That's that book, lined paper, the other half of the music. More embroidery style trim with, we've got a little charm on this one. It's a little turtle. The other side of the Edith Holden in the Adventurer book. Here I've got an altered hair clip with a little envelope, again with some coffee dyed paper inside, and I've just collaged onto a piece of card this to make this altered hair grip. On the other side it's done a lovely little collage as well. I've got an old receipt here on coffee dyed paper, and this is a really old picture. It's 100 years old, well just over 100 years old, because it's of my nan and her mum, and yeah, it's just over 100 years old, so I put that in there. It's removable if you don't want it in there. So we've got the encyclopedia page, I fold out here, a little pocket here, little lace pocket there with an advertisement and an enlarged stamp on coffee dyed paper, another little tab. This one's got a beautiful, I don't know if I'm in frame, little gem on there, little blue glass. Another old photograph here from around about the same era, maybe a year later, still roughly 100 years old, on coffee dyed paper. These are of my family. If you don't want them in there, you can take them out. But I thought they're brilliant little, they just capture the time of the era that I was going for of this. They capture it so beautifully. Right, I've done some stamping, little tab. That's the other bit of that exploration Spanish or Portuguese book. Another little tab. This is the only picture that's stuck in as a tuck spot. If you don't like it, you can stick something over the top. But that's my great grandfather, and this is a really old picture from when pictures first started, I think, and he looks a bit like Father Christmas, so I've included him. And I've got some lovely a field of lavender there. Got a right deep pocket here with a cotton spool with some twine on it that you could use later on in the book. It's on coffee dyed paper. I've got an Edith Holden tag that's beautiful. I love her images so much. And I've got a little letter thing here informing trustees of the next meeting about something or other in that nice deep pocket. So that's the first signature. The second signature, got another deep pocket. That's my nan again, her first Holy Communion, and they dress them as little brides, don't they? So that's her. Here, it's already undone because I started filming this video a minute ago and then muffed it all up and went wrong. So I've got a fold out tag, lots of journaling space, a couple of little Tim Holtz decorative pieces there. I've made a flower out of paper and just laid it with some sheet music and a little heart. I'll do that up in a minute. Another piece of ephemera there. A little journaling card I made out of music paper with some ephemera, a little flat back pearl and a dove. You've got some laces here, different lace, and a bit of cheesecloth. And that's in this nice lace pocket. Got some more Edith Holden. I've got an altered paper clip here with an advertisement sewn onto coffee dyed paper. Got some beautiful transfer here. I just love that. I think it really makes the book when you've got some pages like this. I've got another little advertisement for the other side of my paper clip. Put them in there. Some music sheet with a little decorative paper clip. I've got a little tab and some stamping. I've got a nice big loaded pocket here. That's my granddad when he was little. I've got some little flowers I've made out of music paper with flat back pearls in the middle. And a pearl brad. A little advertisement. Envelope with a stamp and a postmark with some coffee dyed paper. And another advertisement for shoes, and a big advertisement for car hire with lovely old fashioned cars. I think that's beautiful. I've got a bit of doily, a little advertisement for Rolls Royce cars. I've got an angel wing attached to this lace, children's book page, some more trim and decorative sewing, more trim. This is paper that you get in photo albums between the photos, like between the pages. This album is a really old one. It's about 80 years old. It was falling apart, so I took out some of the leaves of this paper in between to use in my journals. There's an old map, some trim, coffee dyed paper here, some dictionary page all stained. This is the centre of the second signature. I've got a photo here of one of my great aunties, and I've just torn this paper to make these deep pockets here. And I've got another letter with some paper in for journaling. I've left this one unglued, so if you want to, you can open it up and journal over all of it. And you could see the lovely coffee dyeing, the transfer of the different colour stains. I love that, so that's that. More dictionary, another decorated paper clip, the encyclopedia, that's the other part of that paper. I've got another altered hair clip here with a little tiny advertisement for life insurance. And the other side here decorated with feathers and a little trim and an advertisement and an enlarged stamp. The other side of the children's book page, I've got an advertisement here, one of my other great aunties, and on this one, this hasn't got coffee dye paper on the back, it's got the back that was on the original photograph. I copied that as well because the photographers, it says portrait painter and photographer, and it's got a really lovely decorative advertisement, him, like it's like his card really that he puts on the back of his photos. And this is up at the borders between England and Scotland at Alnwick, because that's where my granddad, one of my granddads, was from. The other one was from London, but yeah, this is one of his sisters, so she's in there. Coffee dyed paper, you can see I was dyeing some lace on the top, so you've got the imprint of that. Doily, more nice staining, some stamping, music paper with some nice trim, lovely staining again, Edith Holden. I've got, this was Tim Holtz, this boot button advertisement, tiny little one. I've layered up some fabric and lace, and I inherited my nan's sewing box. I didn't want anything of any value when we was told we could pick things. I wanted that because I remember using it with her, going through the button box that's in it with her, and that's all I wanted of hers. And the little button box that she kept in her sewing box has got some just ancient buttons, and these little style buttons here, in the photographs earlier you can see my nan wearing boots that had this style button, so I thought that was really nice to go on there. I've added a die cut image to here. It's a little fold out. I first saw Yvonne Preston doing this, but she said she learnt off someone called Terry Wood, so that's where I got that idea from. But yeah, I think it's really lovely, so that's that. I've got another deep pocket with a big tag, and this is my grandma, my mum's mum. The other ones was my dad's mum, that was my nan. So that's the end of the second signature. Now the final signature, I've got another deep pocket with a newspaper article about suspected spies. So you couldn't stand around on street corners in 1914, because here it says that loiterers were warned by Grimsby Magistrates Court because they were suspected of being spies because they was hanging around on the street corner. Some nice lovely coffee dye in there. And this is my great granddad when he was young, the one that's in the photographs with his wife and children, who among them is my nan. Another little, I've done a triple tiny tabs here, sewn them on at the top. Here I've got a nice deep pocket all sewn with some lace trim, shipping tag I've made, and another letter on coffee dyed paper that's from 1837, I think it says. Right, we've got some music paper, and obviously there's another part of the writing that's later on, but yeah, the Bluebells of Scotland. This is really old, you can tell it feels really old, and yeah, I've got some Scottish roots, so I liked that. Some little crochet trim, and I've got a little flower on a little bolt pin there. Book page that's really old and thin and lovely to the touch. Coffee dyed paper, a small directory page, this lovely big pocket made out of a doily, and I've got a lovely Edith Holden image on coffee dyed paper. But yeah, it's a nice deep pocket, you can fit quite a bit in there if you wanted to. And I've got a leaf on a bolt pin here. Oh no, that wasn't yet, I was jumping ahead of myself. Right, I've got a little pocket here made out of a coin envelope that I've covered, put a little wooden thin photo frame on it, some lovely butterflies and some trim. and I've made the tag out of an Edith Holden dragonfly, and I've just layered it up with some trim and lace and buttons, and there's paper to journal on the back. And Edith Holden again. Here's the little leaf that I was jumping ahead to on this trim. And there's different trim on the other side, that's lovely. We've got a large tag for journaling. Some oriental writing. I bought this book at my local flea market. I love the writing. I think it looks so beautiful on the page. I can't read this language, so I don't know what it says, but it looks really lovely, and I don't know where it's from either. It could be Chinese, it could be another language that uses this kind of little images like they're writing. It's beautiful, but yeah, I don't know what it says. If it's anything bad, I apologise, but I do think it looks nice. I've got some trim down here. Another page of the Spanish or Portuguese exploration book. And here I'm at the centre of the final signature. Got this lovely card that or scrapbook paper that looks like old newspaper articles. It's really lovely, and I've got two large tags in these pockets, but you could fit so much more because they're massive. So yeah, that's them. Some lovely transfer there. The other bit of that Spanish or Portuguese. I've got another little altered paper clip with an advertisement sewn onto copper dyed paper, a little lace tab. The other side with another little this made me laugh. It's an advertisement for gout pills. It's only tiny, but I've still sewn it onto copper dyed paper, so you can write little messages or whatever you want there. The other side of that paper, and I've put some trim down the middle. A tag with some nice staining. These are two more of those coin envelopes, so I made tags for these. They're made out of, I used real shipping tags and I layered them up with Edith Holden, some butterflies, lace, little bits of Tim Holtz miniature ephemera, and little decorative bits of trim. So they're not the same, but they're matching, and I really like how that looks on the page. More Edith Holden, some trim, the directory, more punching, another book page, a little tab at the top from muslin that's sewn on and frayed. Over here I've got a flip up of some more of that lovely paper that I salvaged from the Falling Apart album. I've got another one of Wendy's large pockets. This one has a dragonfly dangle, and it's got another pad and a journaling card and an advertisement for holidays in Rhodesia, which is now South Africa. The other side of that really old page, yeah, Farewell to Lochaber was the first part of it, and yeah, you can see it's really old and lovely. I've done some stamping, and we've got another deep pocket with the great grandmother and an advertisement for Beecham's pills. And finally there's one large pocket in the back page, and I'll just push that in rather than getting it out, and that says go to Australia, fares from £3, and that's that. So that is her, Amelia. I hope you like her, and she will be available for sale in my Etsy shop, which I will link down below. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this flip through. Bye for now.